Como é que é, malta da pesada? Estamos de volta aqui para mais um caso de LA Noire. E vamos continuar aqui com os nossos homicídios. O próximo é o The White Shoe Slaying. Vamos lá.
Good morning, gentlemen, and what a grand morning it is, too. We have just cause for celebration. Galloway and Phelps are sending another fiend to San Quentin. A nice showy trial, and he'll be strapped down with gas seeping into his tiny reptile brain. Now, to fresh business. Galloway and Phelps, the task is at hand. The address is on the hill, north downtown off Fremont Avenue.
I say we bust in there and find the goddamn...
Skipper, is the new letter genuine?
Now, boys, we all know how many imbeciles have confessed in the short case. Ray Pinker will let us know in good time.
1947, not 1927. Of course a girl can ask the
Fine
fella
morning
out.
indeed. We keep locking them up, but the bodies keep piling up.
Californians love a fad, Phelps. As long as the bricks hold up at San Quentin, there'll always be killers in this town to send there.
Eu ia dizer que pelo vídeo inicial do caso parece que é outra mulher e ela parecia estar embriagada, o que também é uma semelhança.
Stop. You know the way. You can drive.
A ver se este também tem as mesmas semelhanças. E também parece que ali a estação está bastante...
First the letter, and now another body. Come on, you can't keep on telling me there's not a killer still out there.
Exatamente. Estão todos convencidos que o Black Dahlia ainda anda aí.
You don't want them turning into unsolved.
Getting a vicious killer off the streets is more important than my reputation.
Really?
And besides, landing a big fat marlin is more impressive than an ocean full of minnows.
The minnows make it the man, Phelps. You can't always hit home runs. Sometimes you just gotta make first base.
Detectives?
Phelps and Galloway, homicide.
Scene secure. The rest of the patrolmen are going door to door, canvassing for witnesses.
Thanks. Keep me informed.
Will do, Detective.
This looks awfully familiar.
I think that's the impression the boys from the Examiner took with them as well.
There's nothing original under the sun. Why should murder be any different?
What do we have so far?
Not much trace evidence to speak of. Storm blew in around 10 last night, and the rain washed most of it away.
And the body?
Looks like she was tipped out of an automobile from the tire tracks and superficial injuries. Strangled with a length of rope. And for my money, it's triple braid again.
Time of death?
From her temperature, maybe 2 a.m., but it was cold last night.
Usual head injuries.
Blunt force trauma. Knock him over the head, then strangle and mutilate. No message with this one.
At least she was left clothed.
I doubt very much he was concerned with her dignity.
The green silk dress is very distinctive. Any sign of her other shoe?
No. And no handbag or other personal effects.
Bem, há semelhanças sem dúvida, mas também há diferenças. Vamos já examinar o corpo primeiro, como sempre. Parece que falta aqui um sapato, como o título do filme, do caso indica. Vamos começar pela cabeça. Parece que ela foi atingida ali no topo da cabeça como as outras duas e também foi estrangulada.
There appears to be a dry cleaning label. Superior Laundry Services, F1363.
Bem, ao menos já temos aqui uma pequena pista para saber quem é a senhora através deste vestido. Será só ir lá ali àquela cena de lavandaria, se não me engano, acho que é assim a melhor tradução. uma loja que oferece o serviço de lavar a roupa. E se seguirmos, se formos ter com aquela loja, ok, não dá para inspecionar o torso. Se formos ao adereço daquela loja e procurarmos pelo código que ali está, encontramos a identificação da senhora. Ok, isto que está aqui são moedas. Olha, e temos aqui pegadas.
No drag marks. The killer was moving around, surveying the scene.
Okay. E aqui a última clue é aqui as marcas de um automóvel.
Our driver and our killer are most likely one and the same.
You're clear to work, detective.
E para já acho que não tem aqui mais nada. Ok, tinha aqui, estava a aparecer aqui o som e eu não estava a ver o que é que era, porque era só uma beata. E também temos aqui o dinheiro, mas isso também não deve ser relevante. Só se for para pôr a bolsa. Aqui, os doutores.
I'll call you when I know something. Meanwhile, get on with the case.
Exato, eles não sabem grande coisa também.
Detectives, I've been working the houses across the street and up the block. This lady thinks she has something for us.
Detective Phelps, LAPD.
I'm Mrs. Barton, Catherine Barton. I live just across the way.
Então, é uma possível testemunha, então. Será que ela ouviu alguma coisa de suspeito?
Did you see anyone around here last night?
Not last night, but yesterday, early evening, I saw that awful hobo.
Mas é preciso identificar melhor essa pessoa. Ela está a falar aqui um roubo, é um vagabundo. Mas isso não é suficiente para identificar ninguém.
Do you have a description?
Tall, gaunt, horribly disfigured. I think he may have had an accident in the war. He's a very scary, angry man.
Any idea where we might find him?
One of the hobo camps around here. He's some kind of hobo leader. They all follow him around.
Thank you, ma'am. You've been a big help.
Of course. Anything I can do to help. I'd hate to think that something so ghastly could happen right here and nothing be done about it.
Parece que a nossa primeira pista é mesmo, então, esse campo de vagabundos onde tem lá um certo tipo de líder que foi visto aqui, perto do momento.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need an address on Superior Laundry Services.
Just a moment. Superior Laundry Services, 1260 West 1st Street.
Can you track down reports of hobo camps in the vicinity of Signal Hill?
Just a moment, Detective. There's a large camp under the bridge on Grand between Temple and Sunset.
Thanks, ma'am.
E agora pedimos os dois endereços das nossas duas pistas. Mas primeiro vamos então à cena da lavandaria. Parece que o Rusty não está a querer conduzir. Posso ir eu. Mas só desta vez, Rusty. E vamos primeiro então à lavandaria, como disse.
No message.
Excuse me?
There was no message.
Where?
On the Vic. The last bodies had something written on them. This one didn't.
I'm failing to follow you.
Can't be the same guy is what I'm saying. right? Before you start trying to link this to Maldonado and all the others.
There are more factors to consider than the messages, Rusty.
This doesn't fit your pattern, Cole. End of conversation. Understand?
Já aqui o Rusty está sempre a querer. Está sempre a querer dar dismiss, nunca quer acreditar que é realmente que os casos estão ligados. Porque se for o caso, não para entender, se for o caso, nós temos feito um mau trabalho. Porque nós temos incriminado ou acusado ou apreendido suspeitos que, na verdade, se isso for o caso que o Phelps está a dizer, são inocentes, ou seja, nós fizemos mal o nosso trabalho. Então já estamos aqui no Laundry Services.
At least the rain stopped. We can change back into those white bucks now.
Ok. A única coisa que temos aqui a fazer é falar ali com o dono e pedir pelo código que nós vemos na roupa da senhora, que é F1363.
Phelps and Galloway, LAPD,
Está ali a dizer
were
exatamente.
investigating a case and one of your laundry labels came up. F1363.
If you give me a minute, I'll go find a register and you can take a look.
Vai fugir.
You take a look for yourself. I've got clothes that need pressing.
You wrote the number down on that dress, is it there?
E acho que é. Não, 63. Cá está. É a senhora Taraldson.
Mrs. T. Taraldson, 43 Emerald Street, Westlake.
Pronto, e assim já temos o nome e o nome e o seu endereço de casa, as suas informações basicamente, e foi isso que a gente veio buscar realmente. E penso que não tenho aqui mais nada também, mas uma boa maneira de saber se temos mais nada ou não
You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
é ali o riscado.
Where are we headed?
Se tiver ali um riscado onde nós estamos, é porque já não temos mais nada para analisar ou fazer. Agora, em vez de irmos aos vagabundos, vamos continuar esta pista e vamos à casa da vítima.
I've got a feeling we're about to meet another wife killer.
You've always got that feeling, Rusty.
Yeah, and it's usually correct.
Please, for once, can you not let your assumptions color your detective work?
Just you wait. Nordic types show a particular disposition for this stuff.
Hello? Yes?
Detectives Phelps and Galloway. Is your wife home, sir?
My wife went out last night and she hasn't come home.
Can you describe your wife and what she was wearing?
We were out at a friend's place, Bobby Ross's, for a party. She was kind of dolled up. She had her green silk dress, open-toed white shoes. Those are her favorite shoes.
Can we come in, Mr. Taraldson? I'm afraid we have some rather bad news. Do you have someone who can look after your children, Mr. Taraldson?
I've been trying to arrange a sitter. Look, tell me what's happened.
I'm afraid your wife was murdered last night. Her body was found this morning. We're very sorry for your loss. I know this is a difficult time, Mr. Taraldson, but we are going to need you to answer some questions. First, we're going to take a look around.
What for? You don't think
It's
that...
procedure. You see to your girls.
Stay here till Daddy's finished talking to these men.
Where's Mommy?
Everything's gonna be all right, sweetheart.
We would like Mommy to come home now, Daddy.
What's the problem, Terrelson? Let him search. You got nothing to hide.
Bem, agora
Want to
vamos
hear something funny, Terrelson?
procurar.
Some bums think filling out a missing persons report actually rules them out as a suspect.
Vamos procurar aqui algumas clues. E já temos aqui a primeira, se não me engano.
Need to check if she was a regular.
Os bares é sempre uma boa pista. Tem sempre informação a dar. Vamos aos quartos. Não quero incomodar também ali as meninas. Para já. Temos aqui uma fotografia.
I wonder why the picture was turned down.
E isto também é a apontar outra vez para o bar. Ali, aquela cena ao lado da foto.
Probably nothing.
E não parece ter mais nada aqui neste quarto. E no das crianças também. Assumirei que não. Ah, está um joguete.
I doubt it.
É. Só falta aqui a cozinha.
If you'd excuse me, ladies.
E parece que tem aqui uma nota.
Maybe.
Não. Ui, e parece que as pistas todas estão todas aqui.
So she went out without her handbag?
E parece que temos aqui a mala da vítima.
At least she was spared that particular indignity.
Está aqui a fazer referência a que as outras vítimas foram pintadas com batom. Felizmente esta não teve o mesmo destino.
She'd have to be in quite a state to leave this behind.
Mas isso também não indica que não seja o mesmo assassino como o Phelps pensa. Depois temos aqui este casaco a pingar.
Lars was out in the rain last night.
E também temos aqui as botas com terra.
You can see if Pinker can match the impression to the crime scene.
E são um size 8, como todos os outros. Isto até faz parecer que um size 8 é o normal. Mas isto é pequeno para o sexo masculino. Isto é um pé pequeno. Na média, né? Obviamente. E só nos falta mais uma pista. Que nem estou a ver onde é que está, mas deve estar aqui mais atrás. Exatamente. É aqui esta corda. Que se lembrarem no caso passado disseram que com o triple braid, que foi a corda usada no crime anterior, era usada por pescadores. Aqui está um barco. E aqui está uma corda.
Looks like a match with the ligature marks.
Yeah, uma corda também semelhante à que nós vimos no caso passado, é uma triple braid. Bem, já temos tudo. Podemos ir falar com o senhor. Só brinquedos aqui fora, não sabem arrumar nada. Apanhar a chuva.
For the record, Mr. Terrellson, what is your wife's name?
Teresa.
Então vamos-lhe agora perguntar. Ok.
If you have more questions, I'd rather get this over with now.
Estou a ver que. Então não dá para levantar. Bro, quero-me levantar desta cadeira só.
If you have more questions, I'd rather get this over with now.
Please, ok. É só porque eu tenho de ir aqui ao telefone confirmar uma cena. E parece que o Rossi está ali à frente daquele. Mas tem aqui um também cá fora. Está tão longe. Ele já saiu dali, ok. Temos que confirmar aqui o alibi.
Operator, give me dispatch.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
Can you run an address for a Bobby Ross? Then send some uniforms over.
Would you like him picked up?
No. Suspect says he was with Ross last night. We need to confirm the alibi.
I'll get a prowl car dispatched.
Thanks for your help.
Exatamente. Perguntamos para localizarem o Bob Ross porque quando nós chegámos ele disse que estava com a sua esposa numa festa desse senhor. Por isso temos que confirmar o seu alibi, caso ele tenha continuado nessas festas depois da sua mulher. Ok. Quais são os seus possíveis suspeitos que você possa pensar?
Do you have any idea why anyone would want to hurt your wife?
No. Everyone loved Teresa. She was so full of life. It can't be anyone who knew her.
E tu?
I think you're lying, Lars. I think you were mad at your wife for embarrassing you in front of your friends. I think you came back here and strangled her and then dumped her body on the hill.
You think I strangled my wife? How do you expect to prove that?
Por causa da corda que tens lá fora.
Your wife was strangled with triple braid rope. The bow line from your boat is a perfect match.
Look, I know this looks bad. I'm gonna have to come to terms with the fact that I let her go.
Agora vamos falar então sobre aquele Bobby Ross, a ver se o senhor continuou na festa ou não.
You said you went to a party at Bobby Ross's place?
That's right, Bobby had a bunch of people over. We were having a good time. She said she was bored and decided to leave.
Mas vais ter de dizer, estava bored, preciso mais que só uma única palavra.
You let your drunk wife leave the party and go off on her own?
Look, I was angry. I was having a good time. She has to go and ruin it. We always have to do what she wants to do. Last night she wanted to go dancing.
Any idea where?
Where she always goes. A bar down on North Boundary Avenue. Barron's Bar. She goes there, drinks too much, gets maudlin, and calls me. I go and bring her home.
E ela só queria ir dançar ou estava chateada também?
Mr. Terrellson, was Teresa happy at home?
Yeah, I think she was.
You think?
Spill it, Terrellson. We like the look of you for this, so you better give us something.
We're at the party. She has a few and says she wants to go out dancing. We only have the sitter until 9. I get mad. I tell her to go ahead, but I'm staying. She storms out. Look, I'm doing well at cards. I hardly ever do well. I married her because she was so much fun, but now she drives me fucking crazy.
What time did she leave the party?
About 8:30, maybe a little earlier.
Bem, não se está a justificar muito bem. Mas vamos então à última pergunta.
When was the last time you saw your wife?
Around 8:30. The card game at Bobby's was wrapping up. I played out my hand and drove home here. I paid the sitter and went to bed.
Então, e as tuas botas sujas e o teu casaco molhado?
Lars. You didn't come straight home, did you?
And how do you figure that?
Muddy boots.
You were out in the rain. You got soaked, Lars. We found your wet weather gear.
Okay, I stayed a little later than I said. This cute little brunette was hitting on me. Teresa noticed. I was half cut. I walked her home from Bobby's, but nothing happened. I walked back and got the car this morning.
Thanks for answering our questions, Mr. Tarleton. You'll need to go downtown to identify your wife's body.
I should have taken her dancing.
In my experience, Mac, if you give in to broads, you'll be giving in to them your entire life. Sounds like the Tarleton broad had her last drink at Barron's Bar. We should check the place out.
Appreciate your time, sir.
You believe this guy's story?
Kind of rings true.
A senhora ficou chateada porque ele não estava a querer saber dela porque estava a jogar póquer, provavelmente é um jogo de cartas, e também uma senhora estava a atirar-se a ele e ele estava meio que a gostar. Agora vamos então ao bar onde a vítima terá ido depois da festa.
Fruit beers all around, doll.
E cá estamos. Não parece ser o melhor sítio para uma senhora, mas vamos lá.
Gents, drink?
Isto parece um
Phelps
tasco.
Galloway, LAPD.
I'm Benny Clough. This about Teresa Tarleton?
Yes, it is.
I heard about it on the radio. They're saying it was that Black Dahlia freak again? God damn it. Yeah, I rang that husband of hers. The babysitter said he was out.
If you don't mind, we have a few questions.
Parece que aqui o owner já está bem acquainted com a história. Já passou nas notícias, portanto. Ok, então ela veio aqui.
What time did Teresa leave?
Around 10:30, I think.
Sure.
On foot? In a car? By bus? How was it?
She called for a cab.
Did you get the number?
Sure I did. I like Teresa. The only time she has a drink is when things aren't going so good at home. I was worried about her.
Waitress, could I get another spoon?
Put out an APB on the cab. 3591. Should be traceable.
E agora estamos já atrás do táxi que levou a senhora para termos mais pistas de onde é que ela foi, ou assim. E se ela sabe alguma coisa sobre aquele vagabundo que a senhora do início nos referiu?
Who was she with? We've had reports about a tall, gaunt-looking hobo. He wasn't here last night?
I get plenty of bums in here, but nothing to fit that description.
Tens a certeza?
The likelihood is that whoever she left here with killed her. Give it up, Benny.
All right, two creeps were all over her, promising to take her dancing.
You get a good look at these guys?
Sure. I got a good look. One of them was a sailor in uniform. His cap said, USS Indiana.
And the other man?
The other guy is Richard Bates. He's sitting in the back right now. Red polo shirt.
Parece que temos mais dois suspeitos. Dois rapazes ou senhores que estavam a tentar engatá-la quando ela estava aqui sozinha. Sobre o táxi.
Any idea where she was headed?
Nope. I didn't get that.
Ele aqui está a dizer a verdade, mas podia ter dito mais alguma
Husband
coisa.
said she wanted to go dancing.
Yeah, she always wants to dance when she's been drinking. She was trying to talk some guys into taking her to one of the dance halls.
Thank you for your help, Mr. Clough. We'll take it from here.
Hey, no problem.
This is Bates?
That's him.
LAPD, don't make me chase you, shitbird. You can't let the son of a
Oi,
bitch get away.
parece que este aqui está mais suspeito do que o outro. Ou então fizeram alguma coisa juntos.
Get after it. Come on, we got a ride. Get in and drive.
Oi, e estamos a entrar agora num carro de um inocente.
gonna leave me there.
Who knows what this guy will pull when he's cornered? We could have a killer on our hands.
Oh my god, stop. Just stop running.
I don't think the killer would be kicking back
Porque é que este gajo não está a andar nas ruas?
Listen, a creature of habit is your killer. For
E
some
porque é que está
reason,
aqui
they're sticklers
pessoas
for routine.
no meio do mundo?
Phelps, you gotta get me closer.
Bro, não dispares numa bomba de gasolina.
Hit it. Clean this asshole off the road. I'll try to shoot out his tires. Wish me luck. Let's end this farce.
E já está.
All right, you got me. I've had enough. Hands behind your head. Okay, Bates. You're gonna answer some questions. I have a choice in this.
Não sei porque é que ele fugiu, bro. Então vamos ver se ele entrou em contacto com a vítima ou se ela saiu com ele.
Last night, you went drinking with a lady in the bar. Now she's dead. And your face is all messed up.
I'm in the clear on that. She preferred a sailor. You could lay it off on him. Are we finished?
E Doubt. Temos de ser agressivos.
Tell us what we want to know.
She was okay. Drunk. Pissed off at her old man, wanting to go dancing. I thought I'd ply her with a few drinks and get my end away. Looks like your Salty had the same idea.
So what happened when you left the bar?
Sailor boy laid one on me. A cheap shot. After that, I don't know.
Doubt.
You've done time, haven't you, Richard? Is that why you ran?
I'm on parole.
On what offense?
Sexual assault. Look, I was lying there on the sidewalk. He flags a cab and jumps in with the broad.
We're taking you in, Bates.
How come?
Just for a chat. Nice private chat. I'll explain my theory of once a degenerate, always a degenerate.
Take him to Central. He's a material witness in a murder case. Find him a cozy cell.
Richard here knows the drill.
Parece que aquele homem é inocente deste crime, mas não é inocente em geral. Parece que podemos utilizar aqui o telemóvel. O telefone, aliás, deve ser para localizar o táxi.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need an APB out on a yellow cab, number 3591. Ask dispatch to relay all sightings to car 11K.
No problem. I'll get on the radio.
Were there any incident reports filed in the vicinity of Barron's Bar on North Bondi Avenue? We're tracking a sailor who was involved in a fight outside the bar.
I can check the reports, Detective. I have a message for you from Captain Donnelly. Message reads, James Jessup, U.S. Navy able seaman, has information relevant to your case. Jessup is currently being detained at Central Station.
Could be our man. Thank you.
Bem, o nosso próximo destino é ali a Central de Polícia, mas primeiro temos de esperar que eles nos deem aqui a mensagem sobre o táxi, que eles vão mandar pelo rádio. Por isso vou eu a conduzir para ter essa certeza.
Car 11K, we have a response on your APB regarding yellow cab number 3591. The vehicle has been identified at a gas station, now heading west on 7th Street.
Garage on 7th Street. Let's hit it, Phelps. The cab driver might tie this whole thing together.
I hope you're right.
E cá está, já localizaram o táxi e agora nós temos de ir atrás de onde ele foi visto.
"3591, that's him there, Phelps. Hit the siren."
LAPD, we're investigating a murder. The family we picked up from Barron's Bar last night. What was the woman wearing?
Green dress. Code 3 identified.
Oh, don't tell me something's happened to her.
Tell me about her.
She was with this sailor, and he was all over her. She wasn't having any of it. Said she just wanted to dance. But he had that look in his eye.
Where did you drop them off?
It's at the Crystal Ballroom.
What time?
After midnight. 12:30? Something like that.
Thanks. You've been a big help.
Well, that's gonna ruin my day.
Bem, e agora sim vamos à central de polícia. Parece que o Sailor estava a tentar alguma coisa com a senhora, mas ela só queria mesmo ir dançar. A ver se esse Sailor era o culpado ou a ver se ele vai ser incriminado. Quer dizer, acho que a pessoa que eles têm lá na central de polícia até é o Sailor.
That's a guy from the papers. Solved that big case.
He's in interview too.
Thanks. What do you make of him?
Sailor on furlough who looks like he's in trouble and knows it.
E é mesmo o Sailor. E ele está aqui na número 2. Que é deste lado. Cá está ele.
Detectives Phelps and Galloway. We know why you're here, Jessup, so it would be best if you answered our questions truthfully.
I don't want any trouble, that's why I'm here. I heard on the radio about this lady getting killed. I got leave from my CO to come down straight away.
So why did you kill her?
I didn't kill anyone. Look, you need to believe me.
Let's start at the beginning.
Parece que foi o senhor que veio aqui por ele próprio. Se calhar não é mesmo ele o culpado. Então vamos ver até quando é que tiveste com a vítima.
You went to Barron's Bar. What time did you arrive?
I got a 24-hour pass. I got there around 7.
That's where you met Teresa Terrellson?
Sure. We had a couple of drinks.
E mais?
So you tried to make a woman who was incredibly drunk?
Look, I'm not proud of myself, but I never hurt her.
You took her dancing?
That's right. I caught a cab to the Crystal Ballroom.
E o outro rapaz que também estava a tentar o mesmo que tu.
You had a fist fight with Richard Bates over Mrs. Terrellson.
You met the guy? He's a creep. You should take a look at him for this.
É, mas vais ter de dizer mais que isso.
He's pointing the finger directly at you, Jessup.
I only had one night before I was back in the tub. He had all the time in the world to look for some action. I belted him. I'd do it again. She was better off with me.
Sure. You're a shining example of chivalry, Jessup.
E o que é que estavas a fazer durante as 2 da manhã, se não me engano, acho que foi aí que ela foi assassinada.
Where did you go after the Crystal Ballroom?
I think the wind had gone out of her sails by then. She caught a cab and I caught a bus back to the base.
E temos de duvidar mais uma vez.
We spoke to the cab driver. Tell us what really happened at the Crystal Ballroom.
I'd had enough. She was all upset about her husband bawling about her kids. She looked old. We left around closing, maybe 1:30. We got on a bus and she fell asleep on my shoulder.
Which bus?
An All-American 249. I went past her place. She jumped off and I stayed on it downtown. After that, I caught another bus to San Pedro. The Indiana's down there. She's being scrapped.
And that was the last you saw of Teresa?
Yeah, that's right. We didn't say much. I think she was kind of embarrassed.
E isto pode ser tudo confirmado como uma simples ida à cena dos autocarros.
The cab driver said that you were getting pretty familiar with Teresa.
It's not how I'd put it.
Estavas a tentar, mas ela não deixou.
So the last thing you wanted was her playing hard to get. Did that make you mad, sailor?
Yeah, it did. She knew what a guy's looking for. All broads do. Dancing comes second.
And what happened at the Crystal Ballroom?
Nothing. Not even a little hand relief. She had another couple of drinks. There was no fun left in her. Just poured her guts out to some bartender.
We're holding you till we can clear this with the driver.
Yeah, my CO said as much.
Can you put the guy in 2 in a cell and inform the commander?
Sure, Detective. Got a message for you. Sighting of your disfigured hobo on Grand between Temple and Sunset. And it looks like the beau has a record, too. He's wanted in connection with 2 female assaults.
Thanks.
What now? Drive all the way to San Pedro and check his locker?
Let's see if the bus story checks out.
There's a depot at 1660 Beverly Boulevard.
Eu acho que a gente ir ali ao bar onde eles foram também era uma boa opção para comprovar aqui um pouco da história, mas isso não é possível, por isso vamos só então à cena onde saem os autocarros e onde está o registro dos autocarros, a ver se confirma esta história que ela saiu e antes dele e ele ainda ficou no autocarro e saiu só depois.
3 suspects in the can and 1 on the hoof. And still no hard evidence on any of them.
KGPL to car 11K. 11K, come in.
11K, go ahead.
Patrolman reporting that Bobby Ross's car game is breaking up at midnight.
11K, roger that. Only have time to get downtown, Cole.
It's possible. Have them bring him in.
KGPL, we have Lars Carrollson picked up.
11K, roger.
E o jogo de cartas que o marido disse que estava acabou perto do tempo do crime, das horas do crime, por isso ele agora também é um grande suspeito. E foi como o Rusty disse, temos aqui vários suspeitos, só que nenhum deles tem nenhuma prova concreta contra eles.
That's the guy. I heard he...
Aqui era bom sítio para esconder jornal.
Thank you, ma'am. You have a safe trip now. Where are you boys headed today?
LAPD. We're after the driver of All-American 249. Would have been around midnight onwards last night.
Just a minute. Frank Zeffirelli. He's your man.
Where can we find him?
Frank is out on the 7-4.
Can you tell us the route?
Hang on. I should have it mapped out here somewhere.
That's the one. About a week ago, this guy murdered his wife and dumped the body. But that's the cop who put him away.
I'll need to run the loop.
E agora vamos ter que ir atrás de...
We're not going to drive the whole thing, are we?
Yes, we are.
Won't take long. We have a siren.
Keep talking. Someday you'll say something.
E agora deixem-me só procurar então a ver se tem aqui algum newspaper, algum jornal. Não parece ser aqui nada. De repararem agora no minimapa tenho uma linha vermelha na rua. Que é o que nós estávamos então é o que nós temos de seguir do autocarro. E também mostrava ali que a localização onde nós estivemos agora já estava concluída, por isso não deixamos o jornal para trás.
This could be a long trip, Cole.
Or it could be a short one.
And here's me without my hip flask and only a pain in the ass for company.
Way to kick off the drive in high spirits, Rusty. Comments like that put me in just the right mood for some legwork.
Touchy.
You know what your problem is? You don't like hard work. This kind of rigorous search is what police work is all about. Discipline.
Save it, Phelps. You're just as bored as I am. Nope, still no sign of him.
Did you doze off, Rusty? I think you slept through my solving the case.
Yeah, very funny. Just give me a nudge if you see him, all right?
How about you nudge me?
I think that's a job for your wife, Phelps.
Oh, Rusty.
E encontramos
That's
agora
the
o
bus we're
autocarro.
looking for. Ease in behind her and get her to the side of the road.
There's some kind of problem, buddy?
LAPD, we're investigating a murder. You had a sailor and a woman in a green dress on your bus late last night?
That's correct.
And the woman got off first, around 2 a.m.?
Yeah, that's right. And the sailor stayed on all the way to downtown.
Can you tell us where you let the woman off?
On California Street. To tell you the truth, she looked a little lost, like she got off on the wrong stop or something. I didn't like dropping her off near that hobo camp.
You've been a big help, Mr. Zeffirelli.
Bem, parece que agora todas as pistas estão a apontar.
The boy escaped by the seat of his bell-bottom trousers and left the broad alive.
Left her by the hobo camp.
Which means he's as good as killed her.
We can't eliminate any of them, but the disfigured man should be our starting point.
I'm gonna call for some backup. These bows hate cops.
I think we ought to investigate the hobo lead.
Well, if you think we ought to, then I guess we ought.
Parece que agora tudo aponta para o vagabundo.
We're looking for a tall, disfigured man at the camp.
Could be difficult. Most bums look deformed to me.
Come on, Rusty, this isn't gothic fiction. Hobos are just like you or me. They're just men who've fallen on hard times.
You ain't much of a detective, Phelps, if you think a hobo's like me. Rule number one, how do I smell?
Of alcohol and stale sweat. You know, I may be onto something here.
Very funny, Phelps.
LAPD, we'd like a word with you.
Save it for someone who's interested. They're fascists. Come to move us on and steal what little we have left.
6 rounds won't get us far.
I need you to stay copacetic, Phelps. You need to hold out for the cavalry.
How do we do that?
Like this. Buckshot, keep you down, Phelps.
If you want your rightful share,
Bro, o Rusty
we
está
need to
tolo.
fight for it.
Joe Lewis.
Killing make you feel powerful.
Mas isto foi bastante simples.
What's your name?
Comrade Stalin.
Very funny. We'll find out from your personal effects.
Stuart Ackerman.
You're under suspicion for murder, Ackerman. We're taking you downtown.
You can't do anything more to me than what the Japanese have already done.
Parece que este senhor também participou na guerra que o Cole, contra os japoneses.
The Kremlin's over here, Phelps. Toss it, see what you find.
Aqui o Rusty é que foi extremamente violento, mas acho que ninguém quer saber, ao que parece. Também eles estavam-se a virar contra nós. E eu tanto falei num jornal, e ele está aqui, está noutro sítio. Bem, acho que já podemos ver que aqui o senhor vagabundo não está nos melhores lençóis.
Looks familiar. Safe bet it'll match the mark under Teresa Terreldson's chin.
Aqueles são 2 T's, embora parecem ser 2 I's, que é de Teresa Terreldson. Ou seja, isto era a carteira da senhora. Eu queria ter aberto. Só mesmo para confirmar.
Ackerman doesn't look like much of a dancer.
Exato, isto foi o bar que o Jesse, o Sailor, levou a senhora para dançar como ela tanto queria. E isto também confirma que era a carteira da senhora, porque ela também lá teve, e aqui o vagabundo não deve lá estar. lá ter tido. Lá estado. Exato. E aqui vê-se que o senhor era realmente militar. E agora então só falta aqui o jornal. Vamos lá ver e depois terminamos o caso. Missing morphine.
Still working, Jack. I'm off to the Lighthouse Club in Santa Monica.
Hello, Jack.
Mr. Benson, this is Courtney Sheldon. He's a buddy of mine from the war.
Well, I'm sure you two will want to polish some old war stories. Good evening, Jack. Mr. Sheldon.
Good night, sir. Take a seat, Courtney.
We need your help, Jack.
I told you I would have nothing to do with that.
I'm fine too, Jack. Medical school's going well. I got a part-time job.
Do dope peddlers need part-time jobs?
We made a mistake and we're in trouble, Jack. A local gangster, Mickey Cohen, is putting on the squeeze.
So hand it over, walk away. What's stopping you?
We had a deal with them that they would dole it out slowly. They said they would supply abortion clinics and doctors, but they've been moving it on to addicts, and they can't cope with the purity.
So your problem is with gangsters being dishonest.
My problem is that people are dying, and that if this gets back to us, we'll all end up in jail.
So how am I supposed to help, Courtney? This isn't the war. I can't just wave a magic wand and clean up your mess.
We want you to negotiate, Jack.
The only thing these guys understand is force, Sheldon. They got to the top back east by proving to be more vicious than the English, the Irish, and the Dutch. They make their own laws. That's the nature of a secret society. For God's sake, Courtney, you want to be a doctor. How can you fight with that?
We are better trained, Jack.
I didn't make it through the war to come back to this kind of shit, Sheldon.
Por acaso este jornal é bastante importante. Lembrem-se deste momento. O Jack Kelso era um colega do Phelps na guerra. E tanto que já vimos as primeiras coisas que nós vimos foi aqui o Phelps a tratar mal esse Jack Kelso. E o Courtney Sheldon nunca apareceu. Parece que ele está metido em problemas, como já tínhamos visto no jornal anterior, que ele estava a falar com um gangster porque ele queria mover morfina. Eu não sei se isso foi assim tão revelado, assim tão assim de livro aberto, que tinham dito mesmo que era morfina e assim, mas agora confirma-se que realmente ele está a tentar distribuir morfina e vender morfina. E se não sabem, isto aqui vai criar o maior problema nos Estados Unidos, que foi a cena da morfina num ano qualquer. Quer dizer, na verdade a América tem vários problemas com droga. Não é só com morfina.
Jessup's alibi checks out. Bates is a... You can drive.
Interrompi aqui o Phelps, sorry bro. Será que ele vai começar de novo?
We have the evidence. We know she was here. All we need is a confession and we can charge the bum with murder.
E voltando ao caso, como eu já tinha dito, agora este vagabundo é o nosso principal suspeito. E embora a gente tenha trazido o marido para aqui, onde é que ele está? Ok. Embora a gente tenha trazido o marido para aqui, parece que isso ficou esquecido aqui pelo jogo, pelo menos. E todos os esforços vão ser concentrados aqui no senhor que acabamos de aprender.
Ackerman, you were in the Marines.
How do you know?
The Corps selected big guys for flamethrower duty. That's how you got the burns.
Life expectancy was 5 minutes for a guy in flamethrower detail. What kind of a government puts weight like that on a man's shoulders?
You'll get no argument from me. It was a heavy load.
You feeling sorry for this smelly fuck?
Parece que este senhor no início disseram que ele era deformado. Aqui não se vê muito bem sem ser assim o cabelo estranho, mas parece que ele tem a pele queimada porque ele, quando estava no exército, foi posto na posição de ser o gajo da flamethrower, ou seja, ele estava constantemente a manejar fogo e tinha tinha gases ou o que for, o que é usado para fazer fogo nas suas costas, e ele até disse que a esperança média de vida dessas tropas são de 5 minutos, porque é um trabalho extremamente perigoso só para si mesmo, e se inimigos também se vierem atacar, ele está cheio de pontos frágeis onde simplesmente pode explodir e incendiá-lo. Por isso, é um trabalho bastante difícil. Agora, mas isso não diz nada sobre o motivo para o homicídio, né? A menos que ele só seja uma pessoa violenta por
Why
natureza.
did you kill Mrs. Terrellson?
I have no recollection of the people I have killed.
E isto é mentira porque nós encontramos a corda, por isso podemos...
Are you denying that you strangled Mrs. Terrellson with a length of rope?
I'm not denying anything. You have to have proof, lackey.
Exato, nós queríamos acusá-lo especificamente deste crime.
We found a matching piece of rope in your lean-to. I think we'll find the blood will match too.
I own no property. How could it belong to me?
E quando é que viste a vítima então?
A bus driver dropped Mrs. Terrellson near your camp around 2 a.m. Why did you take her up to the hill?
Which hill? I have many places. I go where I please.
E ele está a usar a sua posição para a sua vantagem. Como o vagabundo não tem posses, por isso não se pode provar que era o dele. Ou ele mesmo. Mas temos de
You are
pressionar.
clearly insane, Ackerman. The state of California does not execute mental patients.
I don't know the names of the women I've killed, but I've killed many of them. Their necks are so fragile.
Bro, mas está tudo bem.
Where were you around 2 a.m. last night?
At the camp.
That's a lie.
You were up on the hill. You were seen during the day. We have a witness. We have evidence. Come clean with me, Ackerman, and I'll see what I can do for you.
I despise your pity. You have nothing that links me to this woman.
Sem ser a carteira dela, bro.
We have you cold, Ackerman. Her purse and the ballroom ticket were in your lean-to. Tell us why you did it.
I kill because people need killing. It's what I was trained to do.
Stuart Ackerman, I am charging you with the murder of Teresa Terrellson.
Pois, com este interrogatório e com as provas, nem dá qualquer hipótese de acusar outra pessoa sem ser este.
A man down on his luck I can abide. But a filthy red who chooses to live outside the rules of society I cannot stomach. Maybe poor Teresa Tarleton will provide the catalyst we need. I've spoken to the chief and the mayor, and I think it's time we send some men in to remove the godless and send them on their way over the county line. A grand day that will be, gentlemen. And a grand result you have brought me. You two are fast becoming my finest crusaders.
E cá está mais umas 5 estrelas, pessoal. Desta vez com as tools todas e também com pouco dano em geral. Espero que tenham gostado. Também agora no fim apareceu O gajo do caso anterior, o Just Picked Fruit, estava ali preso também. Pareceu que eles cruzaram olhares. Is that a clue? I don't know. Mas espero que tenham gostado de qualquer maneira, pessoal. E vejo-vos na próxima. Até logo!
And now my heart's a blazing ruin. You say that you were only fooling. Don't walk away. Don't do me wrong. Don't leave me singing this torched song when I'm burning.